thank you for everyone coming today. It's a great day. The weather's with us as opposed to last year, so that's nice. A little windy, but we'll make it through. So good morning. My name is Jeff Chungla. I'm Director of Veteran Services here in Arlington. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this morning. And I'd like to acknowledge the following individuals. Ms. Diane Mahan, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and her fellow board members, Mr. Kevin Greeley, Mr. Daniel Dunn, Mr. Joseph Puro, and Mr. Stephen Byrne. I'd also like to welcome Mr. James Feeney, Arlington's Assistant Town Manager, Joe and Joan Connors are present representing our Gold Star parents, the members of Arlington's military service organizations, the members of the Veterans Council, and most importantly, all of our veterans here today. Would all veterans please step forward? Please join me in thanking them for their service. At this time, I would like to invite Evangelist Richard Huslop from the Boston Church of Christ to deliver our invocation. Would you please bow your heads? As we gather here today, we need to honor and remember the service and sacrifices of our veterans and their families. Lord, watch over us and guide us, and particularly in these days forward, may we move together as a nation united and continue to strive forward and improve our country. In this we pray, amen. Mr. John Flood will lead us in our national anthem.
Morning, John. Morning.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good job. Thanks, John.
Thank you very much, John. At this time, a representative of the Arlington Fire Department shall toll the bell 11 times. This time-honored tradition dates back to Armistice Day, World War I, marking the official end of World War I that took place on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Following World War II, the name of this day was officially changed to Veterans Day. At this time, I'd like to invite the Menotomy Minutemen to render honors. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Diane Mahan, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, to offer her remarks.
Good morning, everybody. A little shorter than Jeff. Diane Mahan, member of the Board of Selectmen. Our Vice Chairman, Dan Dunnan's here, and Joe Kiro and others. And first, I want to thank all the Arlington residents and children and young men and women who have come down here to join with us in commemorating Veterans Day. I really do appreciate you coming down, taking the time, and also having the serious nature of this very special day and what it represents. It's our opportunity to say thank you to our veterans, our men and women who have served us, who have given us the community that we live in here today, and also to their families. A lot of times, relatives would say a family member they sent overseas in a war or a conflict or a peacekeeping mission, another individual would come home and they would give the sacrifice of working with that person and making sure we were doing everything and they were doing everything for them. As well as we do have families who have lost sons or daughters, especially a son, during wartime, peacekeeping time. And to that, we certainly can't even put into words. I've tried for 20 years now and I haven't been able to do it. So first off, to the men and women who are our veterans, I truly appreciate everything you do. I take in the knowledge you can impart upon me. My dad, a member of the Korean War himself, and I kind of hearken to the way that the veterans in this community, and especially Jeff Chunglo, who's amazing as our Veterans Affairs Service Coordinator. Part of the, I hope I'm going to remember it right, my dad does it by heart, but part of the Soldier's Creed is never quit, never accept defeat, and never leave a fallen comrade. And that last part, I think, can be expressed in many ways. If you see somebody who needs help in the Arlington community, I know we're fantastic at doing this. The veterans and Jeff certainly are a very active and community-oriented group of men and women who continuously give back for no pomp and fanfare. And I'm very proud of what Arlington has done and will continue to do for our veterans. And I appreciate everything that Jeff can do. I thank you all for coming here today, this morning, to commemorate this special day. And on behalf of myself, Dan, and Joe, I wish you all a very peaceful and memorial Veterans Day. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite our Assistant Town Manager, Mr. James Feeney, to offer his remarks.
Thank you, Chair Mahan, for your remarks, and thank you, Senior Chief Chunglo, as always, for another great ceremony. I feel truly honored to work alongside such a dedicated professional who works tirelessly on behalf of his fellow veterans. I can honestly say that as I approached the parade start this morning, just down the street, and I saw many of you fine folks in uniform, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. You know, I had goosebumps. And unlike what we learned, you know, I wasn't feeling, you know, the urge to fight or take flight. I was experiencing an extreme emotion, in this case, extreme admiration, admiration for you all and for what you've done, the sacrifices you've made for us, and the commitment and oath you've taken. So you truly are the most honorable this town and country has to offer. So thank you for your service. And it's great to see so many of our first responders here today. I know many of you took the oath to serve your country and donned the uniform, and for that I commend you. But many of you didn't stop there. You took another oath, put on another uniform, and committed to a career of public service. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to stand before you today and thank you guys for your continued service. Thank you. Take good care.
Currently, the U.S. military is engaged in 5 ongoing military campaigns. They are Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation New Dawn, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Inherent Resolve, and Operation Freedom Sentinel. This year, our nation faces new challenges and threats, not only targeting the men and women of our armed forces, but our citizens here at home. Attacks have been carried out by terrorists focused on disrupting our liberties and freedoms. Since Veterans Day last year, 2015, terrorists have committed the following assaults on America. December 2015, San Bernardino, 14 Americans were killed and 22 wounded. June 2016, the Orlando nightclub shooting. 49 Americans were killed and 53 wounded. And this September 17th through the 19th, in New York and New Jersey, the bombings that wounded 31 Americans. In addition to our uniformed members of the military that have served and our citizen soldiers that continue to serve in the National Guard or Reserves, I'd like to recognize the service of our hometown heroes this year, veterans serving in our community as first responders. Many members of the Arlington Police and Fire Department are veterans. These individuals continue to use the military training they have earned over the years as key members of our first line in our defense against terrorism. Please join me in thanking them for their continued service. In this ever-changing military environment, it's important to recognize the service of all veterans as well as their family members that support their efforts on a daily basis, ensuring our freedom and safety. At this time, we'll have the presentation of our wreaths. On behalf and representing the Veterans Council, Air Force veteran William Hayner and Chief Petty Officer Jeffrey Melton will present a wreath. At this time, Joe and Joan Connors, representing our Gold Star parents, will lay a wreath. This time, a representative from the Arlington Police Department and Arlington Fire Department, veteran first responders, will lay a wreath in honor of all of our veteran first responders. At this time, would the Menominee Minutemen render honors? Eugene O'Neill, representing the Lieutenant Stanley G. Benner Detachment of the Marine Corps League, will perform our ceremonial volley. Please join me in a moment of silence. Across this great country and throughout the world, Americans will pause to honor our military men and women, who for 240 years have underwritten our freedoms through their duty, honor, and selfless service. November 11th is a day we set aside each year to honor the brave men and women who have served or continue to serve our nation as members of the military. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. Men and women who wear the uniform of the United States of America, defending our liberty and our way of life. I hope that as we gathered here this morning, you felt a sense of pride in honoring our veterans who proudly served our country. Veterans who love their country, know their duty, and honor their nation through their service. From the winter of 1776 at Valley Forge to the ongoing conflicts we currently face, our nation has been successful because of how our military men and women have responded to the call of duty, many of whom gave their full measure. For our veterans who have stood guard in peacetime and those who have witnessed the inhumanity of combat, we are forever in your debt. All veterans, regardless of their service and the era in which they served, have paid the price time and time again. They have defended America through the best and worst of times, and they have performed their duties tirelessly with little or no recognition or fanfare. Veterans know what it's like to stand guard in the chill of the night, watching over others while they sleep. They understand the meaning of hardships and sacrifice, serving their country in foreign lands far from their loved ones. Let us also remember the sacrifices that have been made by our military families. As stated by Major General Clark in his remarks on Memorial Day, there is no greater patriot than the family of an American service member. As the holidays approach, please keep our deployed veterans and their families in your thoughts and prayers. To all of our veterans, I have a simple message. Thank you. Thank you for your continued service in defending our freedoms and our way of life. Would Mr. John Flood please step forward and lead us in singing a song?
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. Everybody sing, please. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Now we can do the first verse. If everybody would join in, we do the first verse of America the Beautiful. All together. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you to John. What a great job. He always gets me on that high note, though. First of all, I just really want to thank everyone for coming out. Every year it pleases me to see more younger and younger residents coming out to participate in these ceremonies. And it's important. It's important to pass along this heritage and recognize the service and sacrifice of our veterans. So this does conclude our ceremony for today. I'd like to thank all of our elected officials, the Arlington Fire Department, Arlington Police Department, the Emergency Management Agency. I'd like to thank the Menotomy Minutemen, Mr. Eugene O'Neill, Mr. John Flood, for supporting our ceremony today. But most importantly, thank all the veterans who are here today. Please thank them for their service, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.